Hi guys, Brand here again with another commentary video. I told you the last time we made a commentary video there were some experiences that I had recently in DBD that kind of highlight some bad mentalities that are out there in the Dead by Daylight community. First one I talked about was the irritation does not equal overpowered, and this is the other one. I had a little bit of an interesting experience with a DBD streamer that was a little entitled, and not only entitled, but you took out that entitlement in a form of very, very intense and nasty toxicity. So I kind of wanted to talk about it because I feel like DBD players have very unrealistic expectations when it comes to their ability to win, and that often leads to a lot of entitlement and toxicity when those unrealistic expectations get shattered by the events that happen in the game. So let's go ahead and get started with this story. So I've been playing DBD a lot more often off stream, playing Survivor with my friends because, well, honestly, the main thing that kept me from playing Survivor off stream with my friends was, honestly, was Old Eruption. Old Eruption was pretty frustrating, but now it's gone. So I've been playing DBD offline with my friends a lot more often, which has been a fun experience. We ran against, and we're not a four-man, but for those killer maids that are like ready to like, you know, froth at the mouth because I'm playing online with friends. We're a duo. Don't hurt me. We're a duo. Don't hurt me. We're not that strong, I promise. We were playing against a person that was streaming Hillbilly. And if you guys, you know, somehow are made it this deep in the channel and don't know, or this is your first video here, I secondary Hillbilly. My three main killers are Huntress, Hillbilly, and Deathslinger. Those are the characters I have the most hours on, that I enjoy the most, and I play the most. So I like Billy a lot. I love Billy a lot. And honestly, if Billy had maybe one or two changes to make him feel a little bit better, he would probably just be my main character. I like Billy a lot. I like the curves. I like, you know, the kind of the how he has one of the highest skill ceilings in the game, if not outright the highest skill ceiling in the game, because I love climbing skill ceilings. Super fun. But he's also a very, very irritating killer for a lot of reasons that we will get into. So we fought against this Hillbilly streamer, and we didn't know it was a streamer at the beginning of things. We couldn't recognize him based on his outfit or anything. We were on Blood Lodge, and he ended up chasing one of the randoms that was not in our group for literally the entire match. Quite literally the entire match. Now, his build was nothing like really strong. His build was very, very, very like kind of like, I'm just playing a fun Billy. I'm not trying to sweat. It was Barbecue, Shadowborn. I think maybe they had Bamboozle, and then it was like Enduring. That was their build. It was a very like zero slowdown. I'm just here to play and have chases sort of build. And they ended up chasing this one person who I think was a Thalita, who was just looping him from going from loop to loop to loop, throwing pallets, playing the pallet, playing in a sense like very, very sweaty, very, very like quote unquote boring, right? It was just like camping pallets, smacking pallets. We came to find out later that she had a pallet stun challenge, was why she was doing that. She wasn't intentionally trying to like, you know, sweat her mind out and be super mean to the Billy that was clearly not running slowdown. She had a challenge to do, which was to stun the killer. So that's why she was doing that. But she essentially led him around the entire map. Doing that was just kind of like run to a pallet, drop it, get the stun, play the pallet, move on. And he was using double engraving, so he didn't have like low pro or anything to really deal with the fact that she was playing super safely. So the rest of us kind of had the ability to just go around, do the gens, and at the point that, you know, he ends up getting her, gets her on hook. There's only 2 gens left, so when we get her off hook, he just decides to tunnel her. So we're like, oh, okay, well, all right, so we're just gonna do the last 2 gens, and then we're gonna leave, right? And we get all the gens done, and he's face camping her, and he scuffs the face camp, and we actually end up getting her off hook and getting her out of the trial. So the man ends up getting four-man outed. The man ends up getting 4-man outed. So after this full 5-gen commitment to this one player, he ends up getting 4-man outed. Now, in the after-game chat, he was pretty salty. He was talking about how boring it was that Thalita had just, you know, camped pallets the whole time and wanted to punish her for it. And she, you know, said, hey, I have a challenge. I'm sorry. I know it's boring, but I have a challenge to do. And I piped in, and this is important because I somehow ended up being the main target of the person's frustration. And trust me, it gets worse. I ended up being the main target of this person's frustration because I chimed in because, like, you know, I get it, right? Because I secondary the character. I love Hillbilly a lot. So I was like, I get it. I secondary Hillbilly. It really, really sucks when somebody throws pallets early. It's really, really frustrating. And I ended up going back into the chat after this had all happened, and his whole chat was making fun of me for making the statement that I secondary a character, that was secondary Hillbilly. They were like, we can't believe he's saying that. Yeah, I bet they never played Billy a day in their life. They were saying some really nasty, awful things to me, his chat was, just for saying that I secondaried the character. And I forget, he said something like not too offensive back to me. It was just kind of like, it may have been a little flippant, but it wasn't enough that I clearly remember it. And I was like, it was probably something about like how she was dropping pounds and how boring it is. I was like, yeah, that's why I learned low pro. Yeah, that's why I decided to start learning one green engraving and then low pro on Hillbilly, because like it frustrated me too that everybody was just, you know, constantly pre-dropping pallets. So I learned a low pro, that way I could, you know, essentially deal with it. I could just, you know, shoot through the pallets, because if you don't know what low pro does, and you somehow low pro turns Billy's chainsaw into a one hit after he can fly through a pallet, and his chainsaw becomes a one hit. That is essentially what it does. Is he flies through a pallet, his chainsaw can't insta down after he flies through a pallet, but it essentially allows him to deal with pallets a little bit easier. So I was like, yeah, that's where I learned green engraving low pro, because I got so frustrated with that. And for some reason, once again, this was met with a lot of like anger and frustration from not only him, but his chat as well, who were just making fun of me for even saying that. Definitely not anything that was rude or awful or demeaning or condescending at all coming from me, but it was just like, just them just like trashing me in his chat, both him, the streamer, and him trashing me in the chat. So, you know, I do what I didn't do very often, is I actually went into his chat, because like, you know, I understand that like Billy can be really, really frustrating, and it's something that I relate to. So I wanted to like, you know, go talk to him about it, be like, yeah, I get it. It's super frustrating, you know? And I go in, obviously I see all, you know, I can't believe, because I was playing Hattie at the time. It was like, I can't believe that Hattie's saying it. That Hattie's so stupid. And I see his whole chat all the way down the line, you know, making fun of me the whole way down. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool. That's great. But I don't say anything. I'm just, oh, well, I do say things, but I don't say anything mean. I'm just like, yeah, I get it. Billy's super frustrating, and that it happens. That's why I you know, even though I like him a lot, he's not my primary character, because, you know, because people pre-dropping pallets is so frustrating. And he was pretty cool about it. The chat got really silent, because I guess it's really cool to like, you know, bash and make fun of me when I'm not present. But now that I'm present, we don't have the balls to do that anymore. Now we're just gonna hide and do it. But the streamer played nice with me. You know, it was like we kind of had a nice little, you know, calm back and forth about how Billy can be so annoying to play. And then 2 matches later, I'm not even kidding you, 2 matches later, shows you how much he held on to it. 2 matches later, he had another match where he was refusing to kick pallets, only wanted to do fun tricks with his double engravings and doing fun curves and stuff like that. And he puts in the chat, after those 2 matches, I guess I should have run low pro. Which is a very clearly a passive-aggressive dig at me, who he knows is still in the chat. At this point. And I'm just like, it really frustrated me, because I felt like I had been very calm and kind up until this point, and they, like, 2 matches later, like, I get it, you're frustrated in the moment, whatever, like, it's fine. Like, games of DBD can be frustrating, you can say things you don't mean, whatever. But you held on to that for 2 matches past the point and decided to take a dig at me 2 matches past the point? Brother, DBD players need to have more realistic expectations on how matches are going. If you are running 0 slowdown and add-ons that do not allow you to deal with the things that piss you off about the game, brother, you need to change and adjust your build. If you're running 0 slowdown, don't be mad when the gens fly. If you're running perks or add-ons that don't help you deal with pallets and you hate pallets, don't be mad when people pre-drop pallets and you can't do anything about it. Like, you have set yourself up in every way to allow them to play this way. You literally have an add-on in your character's kit that allows you to chew through pallets super easily. You're not using it. If you're going to be wasting a lot of time trying to go for fun shots instead of trying to go for, you know, kick the pallet out of the way and then down them the normal way, essentially you're going to be wasting a lot of time trying to go for skill shots. Try to run some slowdown. That way you can buy that time back that you're losing trying to go for skill shots. Because if you're going to be going for skill shots, not playing optimally, you're going to be wasting a lot of time. And time in DBD is gen time. So in order to buy that time back, you need to run perks that buy that time back for you. It's as simple as that. And I feel like all of this with this interaction with this toxic streamer could have been completely avoided if this person just had realistic expectations about their build and their add-on choice. They have completely unrealistic expectations on what their build can do and what their add-on choice can do. I later found out that this person plays competitively. They're a competitive DBD player. So I think somewhere in their brain, this is just tinfoil hat, this is just an assumption, I don't know. Maybe they thought that like there was some sort of ego at play there, that maybe if they were just so good at the game that they could outplay the restraints of their build, outplay the restraints of their add-ons. Maybe that's where they thought that was the mindset. Because otherwise, I don't understand how you get so mad that gens fly if you're not running any slowdown. I don't understand how you get so mad that people are pre-dropping and you can't seem to do anything about it if you're not running add-ons or perks to deal with pallets. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. How do you not see that coming? And this is not even just this person, but I see this happen with a lot of DBD players, is they'll run no slowdown and then get mad at the survivors like, you guys are a bunch of gen rushers. It's like, you didn't run anything to deal with gens. Or you ran like Jolt by itself, you know, like, or you ran like Deadlock by itself. You know, like this is something that I do all the time, right? Like, I usually run Deadlock by itself, and that is my slowdown. But I have a realistic expectation in my head that, you know, if the team decides to bring a lot of, you know, gen rush, you know, stuff like BNPs, good toolboxes, prove thyself, that I may get blasted. I may get just like blasted out of the water. Because I'm bringing one slowdown, it's not even that great of a slowdown, you know? But like this person and so many other DVD players will bring 0 slowdown and be like, oh my God, I can't believe the survivors played that way. It's like, homie, you're running a weak build. Like, I get it, you're running a fun build, and that's cool. You can do that if you want. But don't be out here like throwing a tantrum and being personally mean to people because you decided to run a weak build and it didn't work out in your favor. It's totally fine to throw the game while playing a fun character and go for fun shots. But you also can't just be out here like, oh my God, the survivors are so toxic and stupid, when like you lose the match. You're the one, nobody forced you to stop playing the game optimally and play for fun shots and go for things that you find more entertaining. Nobody forced you to play that way. It's not on the people that you play against to play to you. Like, that was the main thing I saw too. And this is not only a thing in this person's chat, but I've noticed a thing in just like people that play Billy and quote unquote fun characters in general as well, is the chat was very much blaming like all of us, all of the survivors that he faced, not even just in that match, multiple matches, of the way they played against him. He was running a weak build. He was running nothing at all to face or deal with pallets, but it was the survivors that were playing boring. It was the survivors that were playing terribly. It was the survivors that were making his experience miserable. And I'm like, brother, run different add-ons. Run a stronger build. It's not up to the survivors to respect you because you're playing a funny way. Like, people bought the game. People paid their $20. They're going to play the game however they want. People are literally going to play the game however they want, and there is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They're going to play however they want. They don't have to respect you. They don't have to care about the way you play. They don't. So stop. So not even just streamers, but like if you are out there and you have this mentality that I should be able to run a no slowdown build or not strong add-ons, and the survivors should just respect me and play nicer, like that's not going to happen. Those are unrealistic expectations. If you're out here getting mad and tilted because they're not respecting that, like, you need to have more realistic expectations about how your games are going to go. If you're not running slowdown, you may lose to what you perceive to be gen rush. If you're not running ways to deal with pallets, you may expect people to play safer with pallets because if they realize that, they're going to take advantage of it. So please have realistic expectations on how your matches are going to go. And stop trying to put that on the other side to play in a way that's more respectful of your more lackadaisical play style. It's not up to them to play in reaction to you and play nice with you. People are just going to play however they want. Stop having unrealistic expectations on how players are going to play. Just stop it. Yeah, have you run into this out in the DBD community? Have you run into these people that are just like, feel like they're super entitled because they don't run strong stuff? Or is this just something that's like kind of like, was it just one bad experience and I'm just kind of like a little extra tilted about it? Let me know down in the comments below. But other than that, it's gonna be it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, friends. I appreciate y'all. But other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you when I see you. Goodbye.